Imagine a finance department, maybe like yours, where spreadsheets aren't just filled faster, but are actually, well, intelligent.
Right, where predicting what's next isn't some massive year-long project, but more like a continuous real-time thing happening all the time.
Exactly. And look, that's not science fiction anymore. It's pretty much the reality shaping up for finance by 2025 and definitely beyond. Welcome to the deep dive.
Today, we're really digging into some heavy-hitting reports from the Hackett Group, Forbes, Deloitte, to map out how finance is being transformed.
Yeah, our mission here is simple. Give you the shortcut. We want you to understand this huge digital shift, pulling out the really important stuff, the tech, the impact on people, the strategies leaders have to be thinking about now.
It's about giving you a clear picture, a roadmap, if you will, of the disruption that's not just coming, but is, already underway.
Okay, let's set the scene. Digital disruption, it's not just about ordering pizza on an app anymore, is it?
Not at all. It's hitting every part of business. And finance is, well, right in the crosshairs.
Yeah, companies are being pushed, maybe sometimes reluctantly, into this digital transformation. And finance seems to be feeling that heat pretty intensely.
It does. And what's interesting is why. The drivers are actually quite practical. It's not just tech for tech's sake.
Okay, like what?
Well, first, there's the ever-present pressure of regulatory compliance. That's a constant treadmill. Then, the need to boost operational efficiency, cutting costs, doing more with less.
Standard business pressures, really.
Right. But also, critically, facilitating faster, smarter decision-making. In today's world, you just can't wait weeks for an analysis.
And this is where digital transformation really helps finance specifically.
Absolutely. It can, sort of, turbocharge those routine transactional processes, the bread and butter stuff, and it supercharges decision-making because you can finally exploit all that data you're sitting on, moving from just looking back to actually looking forward.
So we're seeing the investment follow. More spending on finance tech.
Definitely seeing that shift. Investments are up. But here's where it gets a bit stark. The Hackett Group's 2025 Finance Key Issues Study, it paints quite a picture.
Oh, yeah. What'd they find?
They found finance departments expect their workload to actually go up by about 4.1% in 2025.
Okay, more work. That's not surprising.
But here's the kicker. At the same time, staffing levels, FTEs, are expected to drop by 0.8%, and operating budgets also down by 0.8%.
Whoa, hang on. More work, fewer people, and less money. That sounds tough. How does that even work?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It creates this challenge. But there's a plan, or at least an expectation.
Which is?
Technology investment. It is projected to increase by about 3.5%, which is roughly in line with how much they expect revenue to grow.
Okay.
But that still leaves what Hackett calls a 4.9% efficiency and productivity gap. That gap between more work and fewer resources.
Right, so 4.9% needs to be covered somehow.
Exactly. And the somehow is technology.
Right.
Especially AI. That's the bet. It's basically innovate or get swamped.
Okay, AI. This is where it really heats up, right? We hear about it constantly, but for finance, it sounds like it's more than just hype. Generative AI specifically.
Oh, it's the main event. The single biggest disruptor on the horizon, maybe ever for finance. And Gen AI is leading the charge.
How big are we talking?
Hackett's forecast is, well, it's staggering. They predict a potential 42% reduction in finance function FTEs over the next 7 years, primarily due to Gen AI.
42%. That's almost half. Are we talking about jobs just vanishing? Or is it more complex than that?
It's definitely complex. It's more about evolution for many, but yes, elimination for certain types of tasks. Highly repetitive, manual stuff. The goal isn't mass layoffs, necessarily.
Okay.
It's more about freeing people from those tasks.
Yeah.
Think about what AI, especially Gen AI, can do. One, automate those repetitive jobs, data entry, basic reconciliations, drafting simple reports. Gone, or mostly gone.
There's a time, presume.
A massive amount.
Yeah.
Two, it can analyze huge data sets instantly, finding insights, spotting anomalies that humans would just miss or take weeks to find.
So better analysis.
Much better and much faster. And three, enhanced predictive capabilities. This is huge for things like cash flow forecasting, risk prevention. Much more accurate, much more reliable scenarios. You're moving from educated guesses to data-driven predictions.
Okay, so it's not just one type of AI doing all this.
No, exactly. Hackett breaks it down into roughly 3 types we're seeing gain traction. First is embedded Gen AI. This is the AI built right into the software you already use.
Like hidden intelligence.
Kind of, yeah. Your ERP system might flag weird expenses automatically, or it helps generate code for Excel macros, or builds process models in real time. You might not even realize Gen AI is doing it.
Okay, seamless. What's next?
Then you've got native Gen AI. This is where companies build their own AI solutions for specific problems using enterprise tools.
Custom-built AI.
Right. Things like automating AP disputes, checking policy compliance automatically, getting real-time insights for FP&A, or even monitoring supplier risk minute by minute.
And the third type?
Domain-specialized Gen AI. Think of these as pre-trained experts. They use large language models, LLMs, trained on massive amounts of specific information for a particular area.
So like an AI tax expert.
Exactly. You could have a global tax LLM or one specialized in revenue recognition rules, or an internal audit LLM. Highly focused intelligence.
And this is having a real impact, particularly in FP&A financial planning and analysis. You mentioned it's leapfrogging traditional efforts.
It really is. FP&A has often been slow, backward-looking. AI is changing that dramatically. The numbers are pretty compelling.
Lead money.
Companies using AI and FP&A are seeing things like a 55% increase in their team's capacity. Imagine getting more than half your team's time back.
Wow.
Plus, a 40% reduction in cycle times, things get done much faster, and a 30% boost in accuracy.
That's significant. Are companies buying in?
Big time. Already 60% have invested in AI for FP&A. Another 58% plan to invest more in 2025. And maybe most telling, 84% say these investments are meeting or even exceeding their expectations.
So it works.
It seems to be delivering. The future here looks like continuous, real-time performance tracking, totally customized analytics on the fly, and even AI suggesting and prioritizing business actions. It's a shift from a periodic report to a live dashboard.
And we're seeing concrete examples, like real companies doing this.
Absolutely. Hackett mentions things like using predictive forecasting for clinical trial costs, using AI workflows to validate publishers cutting manual work by 80%, identifying automation opportunities for CFO teams, boosting efficiency by 25%. These aren't small tweets.
No, definitely not. Okay, so AI is the big wave, but you said it doesn't operate alone. What other tech is sort of paving the way for all this? What's the foundation?
Great question. AI needs the right environment, and cloud computing is absolutely fundamental. It's the enabler.
How so?
It makes data accessible everywhere, anytime, fosters collaboration, gives you flexibility in IT costs, scale up, scale down, and it's key for things like embedded finance.
Embedded finance.
Yeah, where financial services are built right into non-financial platforms, like paying for an Uber or checking out online. The payment is seamless, embedded. Cloud makes that integration much easier.
Got it. What else?
Blockchain and DeFi, decentralized finance. Blockchain offers that instant, secure verification and traceability. Think smart contracts executing automatically, secure asset transfers.
Improving things like tax efficiency or security.
Exactly. More transparency, lower costs, better security through those immutable records. And DeFi, built on blockchain, is this whole new paradigm trying to offer financial services without the traditional banks in the middle, democratizing access, basically.
Interesting. Okay, what else is in the mix?
Open banking. This uses standardized APIs like digital handshakes between systems to let third-party services access customer banking data, securely and with consent, of course.
What does that enable?
It fuels innovation.
Yeah.
New personalized services, easier automation of financial processes, more competition. It really opens things up.
Right, and finally,
Just the ongoing modernization of the tools themselves, FinOps, and how ERP systems are evolving, automating payments, reconciliation, linking different platforms to the central ERP system to kill manual data entry.
less typing things in multiple places.
Hopefully none. And we're seeing a shift away from giant monolithic ERPs towards more specialized applications and microservices that talk to each other. Plus, cloud-based. Exactly. Second, the workforce itself becomes hybrid. Not just remote versus office, but humans working alongside robots and algorithms. Plus, a more diverse mix of talent freelancers, gig workers, maybe even crowdsourced expertise for specific tasks.
So a finance team might not all be full-time employees sitting together.
Increasingly, no. It'll be a blended model. Third, and this is crucial, the skills needed are changing fast. There's a huge premium now on people who get both the technology and the business.
Tech-savvy finance pros.
Yes, but also people who can build and connect systems, who have strong customer service skills because finance is a service function, who are flexible, collaborative. Working across teams, explaining complex data, simply, those become key skills.
And for leaders.
It's a challenge. They need to, as Hackett puts it, get comfortable being uncomfortable, leading people with skill sets you don't fully understand. It's about enabling experts, not being the expert on everything yourself.
That requires a shift in mindset for sure. What about the workplace itself?
it changes too. Flatter structures, more distributed teams, agile squads with instant data access. We might see command centers monitoring automated processes. Chatbots become your first point of contact for data or tech queries.
More digital interaction.
Yes, but ironically, there might also be a need for more focused physical proximity sometimes, especially early in projects for that intense collaborative brainstorming.
Interesting balance. So, given all this disruption, all this change,
Mhm.
what should finance leaders be doing right now? How do they navigate this?
That's the critical question, isn't it? Because just waiting isn't really an option anymore.
Absolutely. Deloitte's message seems to be it's crunch time. So, what are the key actions leaders need to take?
First off, a clear vision and strategy is paramount. You can't just react. You need a roadmap for what finance looks like in this digital future for your specific company.
Makes sense. You need a destination.
And you can't boil the ocean. You need to target high-return use cases. Figure out where AI and automation will give you the biggest bang for your buck, the most efficiency, the best insights. Prioritize.
Start smart, not big necessarily.
Exactly. Then early adoption and experimentation. The companies winning aren't waiting for perfect solutions. They're piloting things, learning fast, failing sometimes, iterating, and then scaling what works. You have to dip your toes in the water.
Learn by doing.
Precisely. But underpinning all of this, data quality and governance, this is still a massive hurdle for so many.
Data mess, as you mentioned.
Yeah. Many are still struggling to get their data clean, reliable, and well-governed. You might need a chief data officer. You need data stewards, data evangelists. AI needs good fuel, and that fuel is trustworthy data. The hard work of data alignment is non-negotiable.
Foundational.
Absolutely. And finally, it's about culture. Fostering continuous learning and innovation. Competition won't let you stand still.
Yeah.
And working with HR on talent development, defining those future skills, evaluating people on collaboration, tech fluency, adaptability, building the team for tomorrow.
It really does sound like crunch time. A fundamental reshaping is required.
It is. The status quo just isn't sustainable.
So let's wrap this up. The core message seems clear. Finance in 2025 and beyond looked radically different. AI and digital tools are driving huge gains in efficiency, accuracy, and strategic capability.
Right. And the organizations that really lean into this, that prioritize data, invest smartly, experiment, develop their people, they're the ones who are going to lead the pack. It's a move from keeping score to predicting the game.
From record keeper to maybe the strategic brain of the company.
That's a good way to put it.
So here's something to chew on as you listen. If finance does become truly touchless, truly real-time, always looking ahead, what completely new strategic challenges might pop up for businesses? Or what new opportunities that we can't even imagine today?
And maybe more importantly, in that hyper-automated world, where does human ingenuity, creativity, and judgment still remain absolutely essential? Because it surely will.
Definitely food for thought. And maybe take a second yourself. Think about one process in your world. If it became fully automated, real-time, how would that change your approach? And crucially, what new skills would you need to thrive? Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.